City have been shit. Newcastle have been shit. Aston Villa have been shit, and they're still up our arse. We have been somehow the better out of a bad bunch. It's the biggest game of the season, and quite frankly, our season either begins here in terms of the rest of the season is a possibility. Finishing top 4 is a possibility if we can get a win here against Arsenal. If we lose, it's as good as done. It's as good as done. With games coming up later on this season in the final few against the likes of Liverpool, Nottingham Forest on the last day, Manchester United, Newcastle. Games like this, games against Tottenham, it's must win. It is absolutely must win for not only Maresca, not only the players, but Chelsea Football Club as a whole. Champions League football relies solely on games like this. Currently in second place, they haven't won in 3 games, 1 loss and 2 draws in their last 3 games. However, Chelsea, on the other hand, we have, of course, got 2 wins in our last 2, albeit against the 2 worst teams in the league. Many people will have you believing that Chelsea are on some sort of good run of form at the moment. And, well, I mean, on paper, it doesn't really, ring true. 4 wins in a row. You think, well, yeah, pretty good. But then you factor in that is wins against Southampton, Copenhagen, both home and away, and Leicester City. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals in our last 4 games, conceding just 1. None of which in the Premier League, which is a good thing. But you've got to think, with the games and the style of play and the way that we've gone about those games, it really does put the fear of God, even with wins, even with 4 back-to-back wins in 2 different competitions, both in Europe and in the league. I'm not confident that we can get this done based on the way we've been playing. We've won 4 games in a row, and I'm coming into this game thinking we're bollocks if we play the way that we've played in those games that we've won. It's a game in which Havertz isn't playing, Raheem Sterling isn't playing, Gabriel Jesus isn't playing, Tomiyasu's out, Saka's out. Many of us were thinking, Saka is going to make a miraculous recovery. If you remember, cast your memory back to the first game between the 2 of us earlier this season. And Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard were both out, and miraculously they were back in the lineup. But Bukayo Saka, from what it's been said, I don't know any updates as of late, but it does seem as though he will be back shortly after the international break, which of course is after this game. We've got Tottenham when that happens, and Arsenal, they need to win this game. Well, they don't need to. The Premier League's pretty much over and done with at this point, so it's more about bragging rights and also keeping a hold of that second place spot. They are, of course, just 4 points clear of Nottingham Forest. So, it is a must-win game in truth be told. Between the 2 teams, again, Havertz, Jesus, Tomiyasu and Bukayo Saka remain out, though the latter, meaning Saka, is making good progress in his recovery from a long-term hamstring injury, according to Mikel Arteta. So will we see Saka in some capacity play in this game? My prediction is absolutely yes. Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca has confirmed that goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who was recalled for last weekend's game and win against Leicester, will retain his starting spots. Wesley Fofana and Romeo Lavia both come back into contention after being ineligible for Thursday's win against Copenhagen, whilst Nicholas Jackson and Noni Madueke could return after the international break. And when we say that, We fucking mean it. Head-to-head, we'll get into the lineups in just a second. Head-to-heads, Arsenal are unbeaten in each of their last 6 Premier League games versus Chelsea, winning 4 and drawing 2, one of which, of course, we know was the one where Havertz obviously went on a mad one. Their longest run without a league defeat against Chelsea since a run of 19 matches between 1995 and 2005. The Blues are in danger of losing 3 consecutive top-flight fixtures at the Emirates for the first time. The last time they were beaten in 3 successive league games away to the Gunners was between 2001 and 2003 at Highbury. For Arsenal, the Gunners have won 1 of their past 5 matches in all competitions, drawing 3 of those fixtures. The 1-0 defeat to West Ham on the 22nd of February leaves them in danger of losing back-to-back Premier League London derbies at the Emirates for the first time ever. The last time they lost consecutive home league matches against any opposition was in April of 2022 versus Liverpool and Brighton. For Chelsea have won 3 of their previous 9 away league matches against sides starting the day above them in the table, drawing 3 and losing 13. Again, want to reiterate that. Chelsea have won 3 of their previous 19 away league matches against sides starting above them in the table that day, most recently beating Bournemouth 1-0 on the 14th of September. Chelsea are winless in the last 6 matches on the road, drawing 2 and losing 4, losing each of the past 3. So it's not looking good in that regard. But Enzo Maresca's side have won their previous 4 fixtures in all competitions, as we've said. Cole Palmer has gone 683 minutes without scoring in the Premier League, attempting 29 shots in this time. Pretty bad stuff. We'll get into him in just a second. He failed to score in each of his past 10 appearances, 7 of them in the league, whilst his last goal coming against Bournemouth on that game in the 14th of January. Listen, it's a strange one that we find ourselves in, wondering whether or not Cole Palmer is going to show up. Not really at the same time, though, because let's be honest, in big games, other than against Manchester City, I want to say it's a bit of a, it's not a guarantee that he's going to play any too big part. I've got 2 predicted lineups. This is how I see it going out. 2 different ways. Sanchez, obviously, no matter what, is going to be in goal. I think the way that people are looking at it, it could be either one of these, to be fair with you. I'm going to go with the first one, Reece James at right back. That's one of the ones that's going to change in the other one. And then we're going to go Colwill, and we're going to go with, who the fuck was it? It was Wesley Fofana, and of course, Marc Cucurella at left back. In the middle, it goes without saying, it's going to be Enzo, Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. And then up top, we're going to go with Sancho. We're going to go with Neto up top and Christopher Nkunku. That screams quite a strong lineup. Would you not agree? However, I do believe there are moves that could be made to sort of rectify some rather, issues, I would say. We are no stranger to seeing Reece James now in midfield, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that Maresca has said that he sees him as a midfielder. He doesn't see him as a defender, let alone a right back. So for that reason, I think we can take Nkunku off. I think Sancho on the left. I think Neto stays up top, and I do think Palmer on the right-hand side. And you're probably thinking, well, that really isn't going to help Palmer in any way, shape, or form in getting on the start, on the goals or assist. I really don't think Maresca really cares at that point. Arsenal are gonna be going for Palmer no matter where he plays. So where he starts really probably doesn't matter whatsoever. I see Enzo slotting in there. I see Caicedo going there and James going here. I see Wesley Fofana. Well, this is the one that's up for debate. It really doesn't matter because I can see, frankly, we've seen Chalobah play at right back. It could be something like this. It could also be a 3 at the back sort of situation. So more so something like this. Like that. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Something like that. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. That is a third lineup, I guess you could say. But I don't know. I could see it being like that realistically. But I'm more so thinking it's going to be like this for Chelsea's lineup. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I really don't think it matters at the end of the day. Maresca's game style. It's got potential. It's one of those games where you hope and pray that it's going to be a good one that ends in a Chelsea win. Of course, it's pretty fucking obvious to say that. But you hope that it's an entertaining one and not one where we're just sitting on a 1-0 lead just for us to, concede an equaliser in the last second of the game, as we typically do whenever we are beating Arsenal. Predictions-wise for this game, I think that they are missing some key players, and that would explain why they have been a bit dicey in the last 3 games or so. With that said, it's so hard to call, and it would be so stupid of me to actually predict a win. With that said, do I think we're going to win? I don't. I think it's going to be tighter than usual. Although in the last game it was it not pretty tight? What was the score in the last game that we played them? Did we not draw? We did. It was 1-1. Pedro Neto with that long range goal. I think it could be 2-1 Arsenal. Or a draw. I think a draw is more likely to what's going to happen. We're going to concede no matter what. We always do. So I'm going to go 1-1. But if a team is to win, it's going to be Arsenal. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't predict Chelsea winning a game in a fixture where we haven't won since 2021. Albeit, at the same time, that was against Arsenal at the Emirates. So, who knows? It's going to take a miracle. But I just hope that Maresca just really does instill in them that this is it. This is the season. This is where we decide whether or not we're challenging for top 4. We've been in. Listen, I just want to say, we've been in this top 4 fight for the entire season. And whilst it looks good that we're in the top 4 and we're above City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and so on and so forth, it's a fugazi. It's a fucking lie, is what it is. City have been shit. Newcastle have been shit. Aston Villa have been shit, and they're still up our arse. We have been somehow the better out of a bad bunch. We've gotten lucky that those teams have been shit. We are probably playing exactly how you would expect us to play. Maybe a little bit better, goals to goals conceded wise. Points wise, it's probably where you would expect to see us. 49 points in 4th place at this time in the season is fucking low, if anything, for a top 4 side. And so I think we have just gotten lucky. And now this is where we see if we really are as good or as improved as we believe ourselves to be, or some people believe us to be at this point in the season. If we win here today, it really is a good sign that we might get Champions League football next season. But if we lose, inevitably, in my opinion, then it's just going to end up being like wow, what a surprise. Well, you didn't see that one coming, did you? City have Brighton, so that's not going to be an easy one for them. Newcastle have Brentford, so that's a win. If we lose, Newcastle will leapfrog us and go into 4th with 50 points. We'll stay on 49. It's a dicey situation that we see ourselves in. An international break probably wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to us. But with that said, my prediction, 1-1, if not 2-1 Arsenal, with us all praying praying that we come out with a result of some kind. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the, thoughts and predictions in the comments down below. As always, please do like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. As always, my name is Harry. Up the Chels, and peace.